That's a lovely sunrise over the castle. And this canola is looking absolutely ready to harvest. Best jump in our combine and give it a go then. Hello and welcome along. Today we're back on Felsbrunn. In fact, we are back on Felsbrunn for the last time. As you can probably tell from the title of this video, we're drawing a line under the map at this point. This isn't going to be the last time I play the map. I will still continue to be playing it on my multiplayer live streams on a Friday for at least a little while. But for now, for this series, this is where we're going to end. We're going to see how much we can make on this canola today with our John Deere, and basically draw a line under it at that point. So let's jump into our combine, start her up, lift the head up, start it going. I'll jump inside here. So we'll take the headland out first. We actually got the auger out on the field, but there's nothing really that's going to cause us an issue. So for once, I'm not too. I don't have too much of an issue of going this way around. So you can see we have a minus 1,114 after doing our chickens last time. Really happy with them. They're nicely set up and going. We're going to continue to explore the chickens and how they work and everything on our new map on Thursgar Oberland, I think is the name of the map. I'm having a lot of trouble giving the name of that map. But that's the new series that started yesterday, and is essentially the replacement for this one. And yeah, we're gonna continue doing a load of European stuff on there. For now, though, I'm really pleased with what we've accomplished here. We've managed to build our farm away from the standard area. We've started to expand it. I think if we'd continued, we'd have expanded to Field 8 and expanded our farm further, because there's a lot of flat area down the bottom of Field 8 there on the side of the road. Would have possibly been actually a good place to have started in the first place. But, you know, it's you live and learn. But I think this is a great area to start on the map. Really interesting place and really useful from that point of view. How much this field is going to bring in, I am not that sure. I think it's going to be... we're pretty good. We're weeded and fully fertilised over most of it. The only bit that isn't is the weeded bit on the far side of the field down here. So there is that. But we're in a pretty good place. I'm feeling good about how we should do off this last field. I don't think we actually made money. I don't think we've been playing the map long enough to have actually increased the amount of money we started with. I don't think we're not going to make enough off this, and our vehicles and everything aren't worth enough to sort of get that back. I think we will have enough. If we sold stuff up, we would have enough, though, to pay the loan off, of course. So there is that. But as I said, given enough time on here, this farm, I think, would really begin to thrive. You add a third field and suddenly you're going to be raking in money a lot quicker. You can keep things going a lot faster. So yeah, I'm just really pleased with how this has gone. So I think at this point I'm going to get the rest of this headland out. We'll get this cleared down and see where we are at the other side of the field. Hopefully we're about a third full and about halfway, just over halfway around the field. So I think we're going to be emptying basically when we get back to here. So I will see you when we're a little bit closer to that. So we're coming up to the end of the second headland now, and we've actually got further around the field than I expected. 2 full rounds are going to give us a full tank, which is quite good. It's not quite what I was hoping. I thought it was going to be a round and a half. It's not quite that. In fact, it's not even a full 2 round. We're at 96%. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start a hired worker off down this edge here. Try and get him so that he gets a full head width in. And then we're going to tab over to our styer quickly and unload. So we'll start him off. There we go. Start up our styer. And then we can just pull alongside and empty. Which will work. Should work pretty well, I think. Yep. There we are. And then we can empty as we move. Which, yeah, looks fantastic. I'm really, really happy with that. Make sure we're keeping in the right place. We're nowhere near empty on him yet. There we go. So that should, it's got quite an overlap because I don't think I cut the original headland straight, but that's good. That will get to the end and stop because that is pretty good of the hired workers actually in FS90. Right, so I need to back this off just quickly, and then we're going to take control of our hired worker again, so that we can take one more headland off, and we'd get round to here if we did 2 more. But we're only going to take one more headland to the top corner, and then we're going to cut in. So I'm going to get this cut in, and we'll go from there. So we're coming up to the end of the 3rd headland now. That has gone really well. We're only 30% full, having gone 31% full, having gone along 3 sides of the field. So yeah, it's mainly that is mainly because we've cut the edges down by quite a bit. So we're going to cut into the field at this point. And this canola is growing really well. There's a really nice amount of over yield on it. It's not huge, but it is, well, we are fully fertilised and everything. So this is the maximum yield we can get off this canola. And so far, we should get, I think we're going to get at least one, well, we're going to get 1 trailer, I think 1.5 trailers off this. So sort of 3 tanks from the combine. It should be pretty good. Using the compass again, so we're at 90 degrees to the map, so we're travelling to the east, and pretty much bang on, so there should be a nice straight cut going into this, which will make things a lot easier for us. This will also open up the field quite nicely. I've gone quite a way up the hill. I don't know if it's going to cause us too much issue, but it has opened the field up really quite well, and should allow us to get the most out of this. And I've really enjoyed this combine. I think we're going to have to use this combine again at some point, just because it's a really nice looking combine. It gets to the point though, I find, where you get a few months into a new farm sim game, and you end up using a lot less of the default equipment. I tend to start looking at mod tractors and things like that. Even in, I mean, you look at the other series I'm doing at the moment. So going big, that is almost, well, that's all mod tractors at this point. Mod tractors, mod tractor and a mod harvester. You know, there might be minor mods of in-game ones, but they are still mods. And the same is true with the with the other map we're doing with TO, which I'm going to start calling TO because it's easier for me to pronounce. But that again, at the moment on our first episode, we've got a mod combine and a mod tractor. So yeah, mod trailers and things tend to be something that tend to come in later. But certainly to begin with, we're looking at using sort of mod tractors and things. And I think on TO actually, certainly the first couple of tractors are definitely going to be mod ones. Mod ones from Giants, but they're still going to be mod ones. We are at 58% full. And this is running really nicely. I've been impressed by this map. Felsbrunn and Ravenport have been two of the in my opinion, the two nicest maps the Giants I think have ever done as standard. Admittedly, I only have experience of FS 15 forwards, and I know a lot of people like Haggenstad. It's not a map I've ever played. But it's yeah. So yeah, I really like these. These are definitely more interesting than most of the maps Giants has produced. They do still have that Giants feel to them. I mean, I'm beginning to look around mod maps, and while these are very tight, very nice maps, they do have the there's a very open, very square feel to them. So I'm looking forward to getting into some stuff with some odder shaped fields following on from this. Having said that, this is a lovely map. There are some gorgeous views of it. The castle at the top is absolutely fantastic and absolutely wonderful, and I really love that touch. So yeah, I'm as I said, I'm not completely leaving this map. I'm just leaving this map. I'm just leaving this series at this point. We will continue to explore it a bit with the multiplayer for a little while longer until we find a multiplayer map that we want to explore a bit more. But it's one of those things where there's a huge saturation on the two basic Giants maps at the moment. So I wanna concentrate on something that's a little bit more unique to the channel and a little bit different. So that's why we're really looking to move on, and we're looking to move on the live streams as well. We'll be wrapping Ravenport up in the near future. Although again, that has been great fun to do. So where are we? We're 80% full. So I think on the next return, we're going to watch it. Hopefully we won't be more than 90% because I want to on the next return empty the combine, and if we can do that, then we're going to do well. And that has gone very nicely. We're keeping this fairly straight. We're keeping this at about 90 degrees. That first cut has been a nice straight cut and has kept us going pretty well. Right, there we are. And I do find this is one of the most relaxing things I find to do in farm sim is harvesting. Really, really great. So I'm going to keep going until right. What we're going to do actually, we're going to empty at this point. So I'm going to set that on a hired worker. Tab through to our tractor, which thankfully is nicely still running, because that's always a pain when you have to restart the tractor. There is a way, I believe, of extending the range of where tractors turn off, so you can prevent it from causing that issue. Right, we want to be a little further forward. There we go. Yeah, that's working nicely. One of the things with this tractor, actually, I've noticed with this trailer, very hard to see where you're empty. I can hear it. but I cannot see it. Right, there we are. So we'll switch over to here and take our hired worker off while we empty this. And we'll get this emptied. And we're going to have to go and tip our trailer, I think. So where's the best way? We might get our combine finishing off this end of the field. Yeah, I think that'd be a good plan. So we'll get our combine finishing off this end of the field with the hired worker. And we'll go and tip the first load of canola. So we're up at the grain mill here, and this is the best price for canola. I believe it's 1,400. Let's have a quick look. So it is, what is it? Oh no, sorry, 1,145, not 1,400. So let's see how much this goes for. Should make a tidy profit off this, I think. So yeah, right at the end of the thing. And there we go. Oh wow, that's decent. So 23,000 off that. So yeah, just over what our actual capacity was, but that's really good. I'm really pleased with that. That will that is going to serve us really well, actually. We're going to be in a position at the other end where well, another half of that, I think we're going to be somewhere around 35,000 euros at the end of this, which would be really great. I'd be really pleased with that. Right, back up at the field, and it looks like our hired worker has... oh no, what is our hired worker doing? Our hired worker has run out of... I'm not exactly sure what our hired worker has done, actually. It's not moving. And, yeah, that's a bit odd. Wow, so our hired worker seemed to have got lost and ended up not actually doing anything while we were away. Oh well, so we'll get cut in again and finish off this little bit and go from there. We're coming to the end of this this cut-in. We're about half full tank. We've actually just hit 51%, and it looks like my prediction of no more than about a tank and a half off this field is pretty spot on. Going outside, you can see that there's not a huge amount of field left. We've got to head up here to cut in anyway. But it's not a massive amount. We've got maybe a third of the field left, if that, of what we had in the centre, and that is. There's a little bit of bump that's introduced. I didn't quite level that right. So yeah, we're going to cut in here, and in doing so, we want to be... Oh wow, we are miles off the 90 degrees there. There we go. It's going to be a little bit skew-whiffy at the start. There we go. There we go. Nice and straight. How does that look behind us? It's not too bad. We've had worse. So this should allow us... we should fit most of the rest of this in this tank. Which means, yeah, as I said, we're going to have... if we have another 10,000, we're going to be up to about just shy of 35,000, I think. Especially if it stays at 1,100. It's about 10% on the top, so it'd be about 11,000 euros that we get for this. So about 33 overall. That is pretty good. That is going to leave us in a really good place, I think. This is not straight at all. But yeah, this should leave us in a pretty good place. I think we've not got that many cuts. I think we've got maybe 3 or 4 cuts. So it's all going to fit in. It's all pretty much going to fit in this tank, which will be good for us. Which will work nicely. We may get a little bit more actually. I'm looking at this with 70%, and we're sort of zooming through it. So yeah, I think we'll get through a little bit closer to the end, and we'll see where we are. We are 91% full, so I'm going to set hired worker going. And see if we can catch up. He's, yeah, that might stop before the end, but that's okay. I'm impressed. We are going to have more than a single tank on here. We've got nothing in the tractor at the moment, in the trailer at the moment. But certainly, we should be in a position where we're going to have a decent amount. And switch back. Turn off the hard worker. So there's, looking at this while it's emptying, we've probably got 2 more runs there. I don't think that will quite fit in the thing. And at least a single run on the other side. So that's good. This is emptying fairly quickly. I do like the speed with which this combine empties. I'm going to turn her on and lift the header back up. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that the header automatically lowers when you start it up. I quite like the header to start turning and then you have to lower it. I can't think of any. There's no other implement in the game that I can think of that does that. Wow. We may have got this spot on, or we may end up missing bits. We're going to miss bits. So, yeah, this is going to be a thin run on the side here. It's just slightly wider than our header. Which is a pity. But, yeah, we're going to get, I think we're going to get another, maybe another couple of 1,000 litres, which would be fantastic. That would actually take us. That would take us to 35,000 euros if we get another couple of 1,000 litres off here, which is very doable. Looking at this, we're coming up to 1,000 litres just on this run, and we've got at least 4 runs to go. And right and up. Okay, now will this all fit in? This one might fit in. If I positioned it slightly wrong on the other side, I might have positioned it slightly right on this in order to get the full width. Certainly pulling a full width, unfortunately, I think it widens as we get further down the field. This is not, yeah, this is not a real life way to do it, really. It's doesn't quite work, which is a pity. So we've got 2 really thin strips to finish off this field, but that should be fairly quick to do these 2 runs, and then we'll go and tip it, and we will see how much money we end up with. And I think we're going to end up with about 35,000. We've got yeah, we're just coming up to 2,000 litres. Which is awesome, which I'm really pleased about. That is a cracking amount. Alright, so we'll turn around and we'll get this thin bit here. It is slightly annoying I got 2 thin bits. Had we gone slightly over to one side or the other, we would have not had to finish this up like this. But it is working. It is going well. And it is well over 2,000 litres actually. It's moving a bit slow to hit 2,500, but we should hit 2,300, I think, looking at this. Which is a nice little top up on top of the 10,000 litres that we've already put in, roughly. Actually, we may have put slightly more than that in. Yeah, there we go. So we'll round this off on this end. So I'll set this going with the hired worker, and we will go and get our tractor. There we are. Empty it out. And then we can go and sell it. Checking, of course, that the grain mill is still the best price, because they were pretty close, those two prices. There we are. Great way to end this. Is to do it this way. He is empty. Just get this last little bit as he gets to the end. Yeah, he is very much just finishing off. And that's it. Right, so we're going to go and tip this. Let's just check that our best price is still our best price. It is. So let's head down to the grain mill one final time and find out how much we're going to make from this 12,289 litres that we have in here. So here we are at the grain mill for the final time. Pull it in. Right. Watch it go in. Not much left. There we go. 14,200. So we've actually made 36,000. We're up to 36,240. That's fantastic. I am really pleased with where we're ending this series. As I said, we continued on. I think we got a very viable farm here. We would have made a lot of money going forward. But we're going to finish it here. I hope you've enjoyed this series. And I hope you enjoy the series to come. All that remains from me is to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for the latest videos and live streams from FendtFarmer, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.